For those of you who have been following me diligently for the past 5 months, you know that a vegetarian friend challenged me to a competition. A competition that has been so revealing in all sorts of different aspects. I couldn't have asked for a better experiment. And she challenged me to a 6 month duel, as you would say. And we have been going to the gym diligently on Tuesdays and Thursdays, doing about 30 minutes of exercise training and then strength training, 20 minutes of that, and 10 minutes of stretching after that, for a total of 60 minutes twice a week. Now, originally, we were going to the gym on Thursdays to also incorporate a 60-minute strength training slash cardio exercise program with a personal trainer. He unfortunately, I say unfortunately, he was promoted. So he left, he went off and he was doing his own thing, which left both the vegetarian and I in this limbo. We had to find a different personal trainer. Now, this personal trainer, as we both found out, is very strength training oriented. We do a lot of strength training and no cardio. He believes that strength training, especially heavy weights, is cardio. I don't know if I believe that or not. I will leave it up to you. If you think that strength training, heavy strength training is cardio, leave a comment. If not, still leave a comment. I don't know. I can't decide. Anyway, he believes in heavy strength training, and it has been grueling, very tedious, very arduous, and this has been a very complicated landscape that I have been venturing on. But I digress. And so that was moved to Friday mornings from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Now, when we first started, our nutrition was, well, the way we had been eating for a while. I started out with 80% of my dietary intake meat and a little bit of dairy and a little bit of fat. And I would have a combination of beverages and spices and different things that would not be carnivore completely. And I morphed it. I started playing with the macros. At first, I decreased my meat and I increased my fat. And then I started adding more eggs, which leaves me to this month. This month has been crazy on all aspects. I decreased my meat intake and I increased my fat intake to exorbitant amounts. 25%, a little bit over, but still 25% of my daily intake includes butter, ghee, and I added a little bit of coconut oil to my breakfast coffee. And then I really tightened up my beverages and my every other. So less seasonings, less spices, more salt, and I decreased my overall protein intake. Less cheese, less sour cream, less everything, more eggs. So 6 eggs every morning. There it was. The vegetarian, her diet was mainly 45% grains, 10% vegetables. She would have a fruit smoothie every single morning, a little bit of dairy, but not much, and she was eating nuts and seeds. As time went on, she started eating meat substitute. As the personal trainer, both personal trainers stopped her and said, "You are really losing a lot of muscle mass. So we need you to eat a lot more protein." And the first personal trainer was trying to get her to eat more chicken and fish and maybe some eggs and some more dairy, although she was against it at first. She started with a couple of salmon pieces every single week. So maybe 2 salmon pieces, maybe 3 at most, but that's about it. She was still losing a little bit of muscle mass, a little bit. So then what she ended up doing was incorporating chicken into her diet. Now, this really bugged her. And so in January, she was hesitant to switch out her meat substitute with chicken and fish. She understood that she was still losing muscle mass or not gaining muscle mass that she needed. So she was in this panic. What else could I incorporate? And unfortunately, it took a toll. She decided to decrease her chicken and fish content. She completely removed seeds and nuts from her diet. She increased her eggs and her dairy, which she didn't want to do originally. And she also incorporated more meat substitute and tofu into every single meal. She also stopped her fruit smoothies, and her vegetable intake also decreased substantially. So you could say that mostly her diet is breads, pastas, rice, a little bit of junk food, and I say junk food because the American diet riddled with junk food, more fruits than anything, and then meat substitute here and there, and tiny bit of chicken or fish on the side if she decides that she wants to incorporate it for one meal, maybe two a week. That's it, and just a small amount. And it's taken a toll. Our weights have been all over the place. I went from 178.8 and I decreased that down to 174.9, but then December happened and crazy things happened. So for my weigh in after December and all the holidays, it was 178.8 again. I wasn't angry with myself, but I could have done better. And now I'm down to 173.2 pounds. That's 78.6 kilograms for all of my European friends. Conversely, the vegetarian friend, sadly, has been gaining weight. And unfortunately, she started at 168.4 pounds, went down a couple of pounds, and then slowly has been increasing to 173.6 pounds. That's right. I now weigh less than my vegetarian friend. But weight is not all that it's cracked up to be. Let's find out what's going on. We have been doing body scans in the gym for this entire time. And we use this biometric machine. I just know that I stand on there, I touch the dials, and it reads my visceral fat, my subcutaneous fat, or fat altogether, I guess, my muscle, and it reads my water intake and all of that. And I know that the scan actually does a lot of amazing things. So, and I'm not sure how accurate it is either. So, our goals have been shot out of the dark. I wanted to lose 25 pounds of visceral body fat, and I don't know if I will see that by next month. I don't know. It's a crapshoot. Actually, I'm not. I'm really not. I didn't even halfway make my goal. But the vegetarian friend of mine also shot her chance out of the water, and she no longer even has a chance to lose the rest either. So, according to the in body scan, this has been super challenging. The vegetarian friend of mine has gained body fat. Now, I'm not sure if it was the junk food that did it. I'm not sure if it was the extra carbohydrates that did it. I don't know. I just know that by just simply eating a vegetarian diet, it is not a very complete and concise diet for weight loss. And what I mean by that is it's just not a conducive diet for losing body fat. And the evidence is right here. She started losing a little bit of body fat at first, and then over time, she started gaining body fat. And unfortunately, she is well over the 25 pounds. She is at 13.1 kilograms or 28.9 pounds of body fat to lose. I do have sympathy. I really do. And I really want her to get on board with this program that we're doing here. But she chooses to do what she chooses to do, and that is her choice. And I respect that. Meanwhile, here I am slowly losing body fat. And I'm not sure how much is visceral, and I'm not sure how much is subcutaneous fat. Not sure. I do know that my arms are slimming up. That's good. I'm not sure if my belly fat is going away. I do have some fat around the legs that I need to kind of tone down and slim down. But other than that, I think it's going away. I think. And I went from 25 pounds of needed to lose body fat. And really, honestly, 25 pounds was pushing it because I, uh, 25 pounds is a lot for me. And as the time went on, I slowly decreased my body fat. Now, from December to January, that was a little sketchy. I only lost about zero point 0.3 pounds of body fat, and I can contribute that to the last 2 weeks of December because the last 2 weeks of December is party, festival, and craziness. And if you know anything about me, I can get really crazy. Anyway, so going from 25 pounds of body fat down to 18.6 pounds of body fat or 8.4 kilograms, that's substantial. That's substantial. So we're going to go into the opposite and talk about muscle. Muscle has been insanely crazy here. The vegetarian friend of mine unfortunately lost a lot of muscle mass. She had lost 3.2 pounds by December, and she maintained that loss, I guess you would say, and only started increasing the muscle mass just ever so slightly by incorporating a couple of pieces of fish, a couple of pieces of chicken, and today she sits at minus 1.6 pounds or 0.82 kilograms of muscle mass from when she started. And that is unfortunate. She just does not get the essential amino acids that she needs to rebuild her muscle mass. Myself, on the other hand, I figured it out quite quick what I needed to do to gain muscle mass. And then I told the gym coach, this brand new gym coach, that I didn't want to just become this beefcake because that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to lose my visceral body fat. So I went from 4.4 pounds of muscle gain back in January to slimming up again and really toning that. So I did lose a little tiny bit, but I maintained throughout February into March, because this is March now, and maintained at the 4 pounds gained, which I'm happy about that. That's 1.81 kilograms for all of my European friends out there. It's a very substantial weight gain as far as muscle mass. Very, very different, very contrasting outcomes here, the vegetarian versus the carnivore lifestyle. Now for our progress report. The vegetarian friend of mine has actually gained weight, 5.2 pounds, or over 2 kilograms for my European friends. That's substantial. And unfortunately, a lot of it has been fat. She has gained 3.9 pounds of body fat. So she has 28.9 pounds of body fat to lose from the 25 pounds. That's over 13 kilograms that she has now left to lose. And I don't think she's going to do it. And total muscle gain, unfortunately, she has lost muscle from the start. 1.6 pounds, although she has been slowly regaining the muscle mass that she had originally lost. I, on the other hand, I have lost 5.6 pounds. That's 2.45, no, 54, 2.54 kilograms, if I can get my numbers straight. And I only have 18.6 pounds to lose. Unfortunately, and this is just how it's going to be, I am not going to make my goal. And I'm really upset with myself, but at the same time, I honestly knew that 25 pounds of body fat was a lot. And I was not sure that I could even do it. But I put myself up to the challenge and I am trying. I tried my hardest. I'm probably going to be able to lose another pound, maybe even 2 pounds of visceral body fat, hopefully by the end of March. That's what I'm hoping. And total body fat loss, though, is 6.4 pounds. That's 2.9, almost 3 kilograms. 3 kilograms, guys. That's a lot in about 5 months. I'm I'm okay with that. I can live with that. And as far as muscle gain, I have gained 4 pounds since the start. A total of 4.4 pounds, but I lost zero point 0.4 pounds, which is not that big of a deal, but I've been playing with macros. So there you have it, my friends. I have been playing with a whole bunch of different things here and there. I'm playing with my macros still. I'm increasing my body fat, increasing the amino acids that I've been intaking. I've been playing around with various different programs, fasting in the morning versus eggs in the morning, 6 eggs in the morning now. And it's just been kind of an interesting experiment. As far as my vegetarian friend, I'm going to say that she is utterly frustrated. She has no idea what she's going to do after this. I think there's some really, really intensive introspection, I guess you would say, at the end of the day. She's definitely going to have to do some thorough thinking about how she's going to live the next 20, 30 years. Maybe she will double down. I don't know. Maybe she will really think about how her life is going to be. Because unfortunately, you cannot keep on this track of muscle loss, fat gain. It's just not a sustainable way to live your life. Anyway, until next time, my friends, I hope you have a very safe and wonderful day. And I hope that your life is as fulfilled as, well, as it could be. Anyway, my friends, lycka till. Skål!